Now, without wasting any time, let's start making our shape. So to make shapes, these are the basic tools. This is a rectangle tool. This is a circle tools. In this case, I will tell you how to use circle tool. You can use E key as a shortcut to activate the ellipse tool, and using the ellipse tool only we can create a circle. I will show you how. Or you can just click here. It will activate the circle tool. You will start making ellipse first. So ellipse is something like this, right? But if you, while making only, if you press the control key, it will create a circle, right? Now, how to move this circle, because it is going out of the page. So I will go to again this sidebar. There is one selector tool. You can type S also. It will activate the transform, the selection, and I can move the circle to place it on the side. But still I am not happy because it is not exactly at the center of the page. So how can I do it? So for that there is one tool. If you see on the right hand side, this panel, you must be getting only one single panel, which is a layer panel, but you can bring these other panels as well. How to bring them? You can just click this down arrow and you will see different panel options here. If you click align and distribute, you will get the align panel just like me. And if you click fill and stroke, you will get a fill and stroke panel just like me. So I will recommend you bring these two panels, click them and bring it here so that we can follow along. Now I will click to the align distribute panel, and here are the different alignment tools which I can use to set my circle just at the center. The important one is center on vertical axis. One more thing, if your relative to option is not set to page, please set it to page, because if you set it to drawing, let me show you what happens. If I set it to drawing and click this, nothing changes because it is already using the drawing as a reference, but we want this drawing to be taken at the center of the page. So I want relative to page, and I will use this now, center on vertical axis. If I click, you will see my circle moved at the center vertically, but I want the center to be on horizontal axis also at the center. So I will click this now, second option, center on horizontal axis, and you will see my circle is exactly at the center of the page. I can click outside to get out of the select command. Okay, so our shape, a basic shape is done. Now I will tell you how to use fill and stroke. So if you see, this dark blue line is basically the stroke, and the light blue color is basically the fill. So if you select this, as I told you before, you need to bring the fill and stroke option here. You can also use the shortcut Shift Control and F, so it will automatically bring the fill and stroke tab. Click it and it will bring you to the color panel. You can see we have color wheel here. You can also use a picker, which you can take reference of any other image in case, but currently we are going to use the color wheel. So I'll select this, and you can use this line here to click and drag to change the fill color, right? Why? Because if you see here in this tab, there are a few more tabs as well. So one is the fill tab, other is the stroke paint, and the stroke style. I will show you all three of them, how they work. So let me show you fill first. I will go to fill tab, and as I told you, you can use this line to change the basic color, and then here you can select the shape. So you can click this circle and move along to select the shape. Okay, you can use any other color as well. Now let's come to stroke paint. So I will go to this tab, and here I have used this line to go to little darker shade of the blue, right? And here also I can use another shade if I want. Good. Okay, then currently I'm not going to use stroke style, but let me tell you how it works. Stroke styles define only this part is important for us for now, like how to set the width. So currently the width is 2 mm. If I increase, let's see what happens. If I make it 4 mm, you can see the thickness of the stroke will increase. I will go back to 2. Now there is another option which is dash pattern. So it defines the pattern of the stroke. So you see here currently it's a continuous line because the dash pattern is custom or the continuous, right? By default there are a lot of options. You can choose any one of them. So let's say if I go for this dash line, you will see the stroke will change. This will define the distance. Let me check this. 0.1, let's say. You can see it is increasing. Let's say if I make it 10, then what happens? The distance will increase. And if you keep on increasing this, you will see the change. It will become shorter and shorter. Okay, so I'll keep it to 0 for now. And I don't want dashed. I will go back to custom or the continuous line. Okay, these are some other options. For now we don't need them. Maybe later in some of the stages of the videos we will cover them. And I'm also planning to start a new course on Inkspace, so hopefully when that comes you can go through the Inkspace in detail. Okay, let's move ahead. Now our shape is done. I will click outside and get out of the selector command. I will show you a few more tools. How can you create those zigzag lines which you saw before? Something like this. We are going to create these zigzag lines. You can change the design also, no problem. It's just an abstract representation or an example for you. You can make your own design. I'm just going to show you the methods and the tools by which you can create. So let's go back. Here there are two tools which can help you in create those zigzag lines. First is the pencil tool. Let me show you how it works. So either you can click P or you can select it directly and it will give you a pencil cursor with a plus or a cursor point, right? And if you click on one side and click here, it will give you a straight line, right? But this is a free drawing tool as well. You can see here it shows draw freehand lines. So if you click and drag at same time, you can create a freehand line as well, something like this. So maybe you can make your design something like this, right? Why not? But I will show you with the prescribed example. So I will just do one click. Don't click and drag continuously, otherwise it will start creating a freehand line. Just click once and then you are free to move your pencil like this. Then you have to click again, move your cursor when that end point or the transfer point becomes blue. That means your line will start from this point. Click again and then make another line. Click again, another line. Click again, another line, and you can continue. Right? Once you are done, you can either hit enter or you can press S key, which will activate the select tool. And click outside. So your line is done. And this is one single entity, right? But if you see here, I had to continuously make one by one lines, right? That will take more times if I'm creating some complex SVG file. So I will show you another method. Let me undo this, Ctrl Z, go back and use the pen tool, right? This is more better. This pen tool also works in two ways. It is mostly used to create a Bezier curves, like very organic curves, and also straight lines. So you can either type B or you can just directly click here, and one by one, let's say almost from the center, I will start from here and we'll start making lines something like this. Now you can see here it is going continuous, it is not stopping, so I don't have to click multiple times to complete my line. Okay, once I am done, I will just hit enter and it will create that stroke. This is just a stroke or a path. Again I will press S key to activate the selector tool. Now these strokes can be, again we can control it from the stroke style, right? So you can again change the width from here, type 10, it will increase, or you can keep it 2. I will use Ctrl Z to go back, and if I want to change the dash pattern, I can use some other pattern to give it a different texture this time. Okay, not the file which I have shown you. Right? Let me do some changes in that. Now, if you remember, I have given these continuous lines. If you want, you can use these lines, or you can fill the remaining portion with circles or any other shape by using these, circle and the lines pen tool, which I have explained to you. So here I will again bring the circle tool, ellipse, right? I will create a circle like this. As I told you, use the control key to create a shape of the circle. And here what's happening is, because the circle is small, it is taking the stroke size as 10. So I will select it and change it to 2 again, right? Select it. Use these transform arrow keys to select and change the shape. But if you do like this, it will change the circle shape. So I will recommend select, hold the shift key, select, hold the control key, and then reduce the size, right? You can place it here, control C, control V, click, hold the control key, make it smaller, control C, control V, place it here, click, hold the control key, make it bigger. You can now play with it as you want. In between, if you want, you can create some lines. Again, here, instead of using pen tool, this will come more handy, the pencil tool. So I'll click and I will create one line something like this, right? And then I will click again. I will create a line something like this, right? Okay. Then again I will press S key. I will select these circles, control C, control V, click, hold the control key, make it bigger, right? You can add more shapes. You can, even if you want, you can try a rectangle tool here to change the monotony or change the shape. Okay, same way, control C, control V. Now I will fill here, control C, control V, something like this, right? So this is for your practice. You create your own design like this. I have shown you what are the tools you can use. So what are the tools I have used? I have used circle tool, ellipse and circle tool, and I have used these two pen tools. One more thing which I can show you is how to use a pen tool to create Bezier curves. Currently I have showed you how to create a straight line, which was this, but now I will show you how can you use this pen tool to create a curve. So I will select this again. This time if you click one time, and then it will make you free to give the second point. I will click and drag at the same time. So here you will see I can create it into a curve, right? And again the second point, I have to click and drag at the same time to create another curve, right? Like this. So you can create a wonderful organic curves to change your designs. And once you are done, you can press the enter key to complete, right? So create your own shape. I let you free to do that. Once you are done, the important part is how to export it and how can I use it in the QGIS file.